Hey there, friends. I'm Jasmine, host of Hands Off My Podcast. It's December, and the holidays for many of us are right around the corner. The Darkcast Network has been hard at work in our toy shop. Oh, wait, we're not elves. In our studios preparing for the holidays in a very special way. We're stuffing our big red sleigh. Wait, that's not us either. We have been recording tales of the nice and the naughty from all around the world to bring you 2 very special episodes, featuring topics like the Dutch tradition of pickle in the tree and burning of the devil in Guatemala, true crime tales of the Lawson family and killer kids. There will also be cryptids and folklore with Krampus, Belsnickel, and La Lechuza. Put on your comfy pajamas, grab your mug of hot cocoa, and join us by the fireplace for the Darkcast Holiday Naughty or Nice Stories. Available on the podcast feed you're listening to right now, December 19th and 20th.
Darkcast Network. The light shines brightest on our indie podcasts.
Hi, this is Kelly.
And this is Jenna.
And you're listening to ODFM.
This episode is One Display Home from Murder.
Display home.
Yeah.
Yes, like the parade of homes where you get to drive around.
Like Oh, yes, the parade of homes. My mom used to make us go to the parade of homes, which I liked and it was cool, but she would walk through and be like, look at these sample kid rooms. Like, they are so nice and organized. And your rooms, and I'd be like, nobody freaking lives here.
Yeah,
it's a display. Also, if I had a walk-in closet the size of my actual room, I could stuff all my shit in there too. So anyway.
Perfect too.
I know. I'd be like, nobody lives here. Of course it looks perfect.
Of course it's gorgeous. Okay. So we have another new Patreon member.
Oh my gosh. We are so lucky. That is so amazing.
We're so lucky that we have people that kind of like us.
I know.
And they're weird
support us.
like us. Yes.
Yeah. Well, those are our peeps.
Well, and this one is genuinely rad because I know her. Her name is Hannah.
Cool.
Yes.
Hi, Hannah.
Hi, Hannah. We love you. Thank you for supporting us.
Thank you for being a Patreon.
Thank you
for a patron.
One of those. Patreon.
Thank you for subscribing. I don't know the right way to say it, but thanks.
Thanks for being a fan.
Okay. So this story takes place in McKinney, Texas, which is about 30 miles north of Dallas. On July 8th, 2006, a married couple had an appointment with a realtor to go see a display home in a new upscale housing development.
Oh, we're going to go check out all the gorgeousness.
Yes, the gorgeousness.
I'm going to bring my Burberry bag along.
So when they arrived and walked into the display home, they were surprised that she wasn't there to greet them. That was kind of weird.
Well, but the door was open?
The door was open, and they stepped through like the foyer, they stepped through the foyer, and it was pretty obvious that something had gone down in the living room. It was in disarray. It looked like a bar fight.
So it was like a kid had been there.
Yeah, right.
We're
it was
like
a
display this house like an actual home.
It was like a small child had been there for 5 minutes alone. Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like, right? So they walked in a little further. They realized there was a trail of blood leading to the kitchen.
Okay, that's different. No.
Yeah, they don't usually put those in the displays.
Yeah.
They reserve those for the real homes.
It's like the new version of escape room.
Oh, God.
Well, I don't know what I'm coming up upon.
Did we go to a display house or an escape room? What's happening? They follow the trail of blood into the kitchen, and there they find the body of realtor Sarah Walker with multiple stab wounds laying in a pool of her own blood.
Well, I don't think we'll buy this house now, Phyllis.
Yeah, this is not our, right. This isn't at all what we were looking for. We wanted a nice family place.
This might have ghosts now. So.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that sucks.
So, you know what? Because I even remember the neighborhood where I grew up. My parents had our house built. It was a new neighborhood. And I remember there was a display home at the very end of the street that eventually just was sold as a home.
Right.
So eventually this is going to be somebody's house, but not this couple's.
Not this one. They're like, yeah.
In fact, they're like, you know what? I think we're going to pick a different neighborhood altogether.
Yeah.
It's a clear
thought
sign.
This was an upstanding area, but.
All right. So when police arrived, they noticed that there had been a massive struggle. Furniture and plants knocked all over the living room. Sarah had obviously fought her attacker as much as she could.
At
right?
least she fought back.
There was a lot of blood, not just pooling under her, but all, yeah.
Squeeby-jeebies. Okay.
Sarah was 40 years old. She was recently divorced from her second husband, and she had 2 children at the time of her murder.
Oh, no.
She was known to be beautiful, vivacious, and very successful in her career.
Just getting her life back on track after a divorce, too.
Mm-hmm. Investigators quickly found video of Sarah just 2 hours before she was attacked, making a transaction at a local bank. So, how they have she actually wasn't an ATM. No, she actually went up to a teller.
Oh my God. She's talked to someone.
She spoke to a person.
Wow. I don't do that.
No. I didn't even know they still open on the inside. There are people in there.
You can go in?
You can go in.
Oh my God.
So they noted that in the video, she was wearing an expensive ring and a Rolex watch.
Oh, okay.
Neither of those were found on her body. They weren't in her car. They weren't in her purse. I don't know if her purse was there or not. So they're thinking robbery.
Yeah, someone robbed her. Yeah. But you'd think those pieces would be easy to find if they're pawned or something, but I don't know.
True. Very true. So then her autopsy, however, revealed that while Sarah thankfully had not been sexually assaulted,
good.
She had been severely beaten, stabbed more than 30 times, and had a bite mark on her neck.
What the actual fuck? No.
Yeah. So
why do I find that so
vampire?
Disturbing? Yeah. What the hell? I find that very disturbing because
right. And
it shows how
personal,
ferocious. Right? Yeah.
It's like savage. DNA was collected from under Sarah's fingernails.
Good.
And obviously they took pictures of the bite marks so that they had kind of like
the dental impression type thing.
Based on the estimated time of death, police knew that just 30 minutes prior to her murder, Sarah had been on the phone with her cousin.
Okay.
So she was at the house talking to her cousin, and she had told her, she abruptly ended the call saying, "Sorry, I have to go. Someone just walked in."
But it wasn't the someone she was expecting.
It wasn't the couple. She probably thought it was a potential buyer.
Yeah, absolutely. You do those open houses and stuff. Oh, God. Right.
She, I guess, was actually stationed. This was her. This is where she was stationed.
Okay.
Yeah. She didn't work independently. She worked for the
builder or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Crime scene investigators believed Sarah was likely killed in the living room, then dragged into the kitchen.
Why?
There was evidence that the killer may have cut themselves during the struggle.
Ooh, that's good.
Mm-hmm. There was telltale signs. Whatever they saw of the blood patterns and things in the living room was like, okay, this is where she was killed. And then she was dragged. And then this is where she lay for a while because that's where the blood pooled.
Oh, God.
But next to her body, there were perfectly round droplets, something that would have dropped 90
From
degrees.
A height. Okay.
Right.
Oh.
There were those. Then in the kitchen sink, there was some leading to the kitchen sink. And then in the kitchen sink, you could tell that the killer had tried to clean up. There was blood residue in the sink, There was also blood on the deadbolt on the door and on some closed blinds.
Okay, yeah. So his hands.
Yeah, I doubt Sarah was in the middle of being stabbed and stopped to lock the door and close the blinds.
Excuse me, hold on.
Excuse me, I don't want anyone to see this. Right? The light is in my eyes. I have to close the blinds.
I have to close the blinds. Let me get
pretty sure it was the killer.
Yeah.
So from the blood droplets, as well as the material recovered from under Sarah's fingernails, they were able to get the same male DNA profile. So
good.
Right?
Okay. So they
had this profile. Wasn't a match to anyone in the system.
Great.
But they have it. But
at least you have it. Yeah.
At least they have it, right? The last person to see Sarah alive was her ex-husband, Randy Tate. She had dropped off their son at his house in the morning before she went to work. So, he, of course, is instantly a person of interest, right? Apparently, the divorce was something he instigated. Sarah did not want it.
Huh.
He was not happy about it at all. But he said he had an alibi that he was playing golf that day. I don't know how solid playing golf.
I guess if you have a tea time and you're
right, there were other people
and everything. Yeah.
Okay. He started out very cooperative, but became less and less cooperative as days went by. He was not comfortable giving a DNA sample.
Yeah, that's very suspicious.
But eventually he did, and it was not a match to the killer's profile.
Well, dude, you could have done that from the start. Quit wasting their time.
I know. So he was ruled out as a suspect, although you and I know that like sometimes ex-husbands can pay somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. I can hire people.
So, we'll just keep that in the back of our mind. So during their investigation, they discovered that Sarah had started using the dating site millionairematch.com, which, I mean, if you're going to use one.
Yeah, go with the high end.
Go big or go home, right?
Oh, God. She
hadn't dated many people since the divorce, but this kind of opens the door for all kinds of suspects, people she may have swiped. Is it right or left, or, people she may have been like, thanks, no thanks.
Yeah.
You don't know who you're turning down.
Absolutely. And they got some egos on those
right? Yeah.
Millionaires.
I'm sure, right? But I'm a millionaire. Seriously?
How could you not want me?
I get that my face is all kind of wonky and stuff. And I said that like my favorite thing to do is pick my nose, but I am a millionaire. Right? They went through the trouble of interviewing every single man Sarah had spoken to from the websites.
Whoa. Okay.
Had contacted her and she rejected or whatever, every single one. Okay. And they had everyone give a DNA sample.
Wow.
And still none were a match.
Damn it. But at least they have all those on file now.
Yeah, right.
Like, they do something in the future.
Right? Are you allowed to put those in a database if they come back innocent?
Good question.
I don't know what the rules are on that. It would be nice to have. I mean, they can use it if you've gone to like Ancestry or 23andMe, right? So
yeah. Good question.
Interesting. We have not had a story yet where someone was caught because their blood relative was a suspect in something else and was ruled out. Like we haven't heard that anywhere.
So it makes you wonder if they can't, unless you actually sign it away and say, yeah, you can use this. Keep this on file.
This is interesting. If anybody knows, email us and let us know, or message us in Facebook or Twitter or Insta or whatever.
But,
yeah, that's a good question. Okay. So anyway, after several weeks, they're kind of running out of leads.
Great.
And it's on its way to becoming another cold case, right? And they got a break. A call from a potential witness.
Oh, whoa. That maybe saw somebody go into the house.
Right. So, all right. I had to write this out phonetically.
Oh,
because I didn't know how to spell it.
Okay.
And I watched this case like on TV. So,
yes.
I was like,
okay.
How'd you say that? Right. So Nelson Via Vicenzio. Nelson Via Vicenzio.
Sounds Italian.
From here on out, he's going as Nelson. I'm not saying that again. I can hurt myself.
Nelson. Got it.
Nelson told police that on the morning of the murder, his wife, also a realtor, had gotten a call from a man named Chan Lee asking to see the display home across the street from where Sarah was working. So multiple houses in this development being shown. Okay. She agreed to meet him, but she had a bad feeling for some reason.
Oh, she listened to it. Good girl. Good.
First thing she did was to call the hotel he said he was staying at and found out that no one by that name was registered at the hotel.
She's an armchair detective. I love it. Yes.
But, selling houses is her livelihood.
Lucrative, and you kind of have to do your job.
So she wanted to meet him, but she felt weird. So she asked her husband, Nelson, to come with, and he did.
Good. Okay, good.
Okay. So Nelson and his wife arrive at the display home. Soon after, a white Mustang pulls up.
Ooh, okay.
And an Asian male wearing a sleeveless t-shirt, jeans, and sneakers got out of the car.
Okay.
They asked, hey, are you Chan Lee? And the guy just kind of doesn't make eye contact with him, just kind of doesn't make eye contact, kind of shakes his head and just gets back in his car and drives off.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. He's very suspicious.
Right?
That's your dude. That's your dude.
Wasn't suspecting the husband to be there, right?
I'm going to get out of here. No, I'm not, Jan.
Right. So, but that's not the end.
Oh, shit.
Nelson and his wife go into the display home, and through the window, Nelson sees Sarah arrive across the street, and his wife works, they are familiar with each other.
Right. Yeah. Because they're in the same area. Right.
Right. On the show, he's like, I look out the window, and they quote him, right?
Oh,
like
great.
they interview him on the show, and he's like, so I asked my wife, I'm like, come here, there's a very attractive young woman going. I'm like, bullshit. He said that. Are you? Yeah, right.
Yeah. If you say that around your wife, you're not going to be, you can be slapped.
Hey, sweetie, come over here. There's a really attractive woman outside. Come see. Right. I don't think so. And she's like, oh yeah, that's Sarah.
Okay. So she did know.
And then he says, on the show, then he says, Sarah's looking very good these days. Are you fucking high?
You're disgusting.
I'm sorry. There's no way. He probably said that for the camera. There's no way he actually said that to his wife. Because I'd be like, are you divorced now?
Yeah. Because she probably didn't like hearing that. Just saying.
Right. I was like, there's no way, man.
Oh my God.
So he sees Sarah arrive across the street. And then after a while, his wife is like, well, this Chanley person is obviously a no-show. They're like, all right, we're going to leave. We're going to go to lunch. It was like almost 1 p.m. They're really hungry.
Okay.
As they walk out to their car, they notice a white Mustang parked next to Sarah's car across the street.
Shit. There's only so many white Mustangs.
Right? For a moment, they thought about stopping in to say hello to Sarah, but they were really hungry. They wanted to grab lunch.
No.
And it was determined when they put this all together that Sarah's body was discovered by the couple about 20 minutes later. So they probably would have either walked in on the act or walked in on him cleaning up or.
Oh my God.
Right. And in the show, they were like, it's very good that they didn't come in because we would have had more victims. I'm like, it's 2 against 1.
Yeah,
are you serious?
2 against 1. Plus he'd be frazzled and probably just trying to get the hell out of there.
Right. You'd surprise this. But I was just like, okay, that's not how I took it. But all right.
Okay. I know they always are like safety first, but
I know I would have been like, let me get my cell phone out. It's 96, right? So
yeah, they were around. They weren't
right. They could have had that, or they could have looked, and if he was still there and the door was locked or whatever, and they kind of didn't. They've been like, go call 911.
Yeah,
something's
weird. Oh,
right?
Shit.
So I don't know. Yeah, that bothered me a lot.
Yeah.
So police had Nelson. It had been a couple weeks, right?
Okay. Since that happened. Okay.
Yeah. Police had Nelson sit with a forensic hypnotist. Didn't even know this was a thing.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
To try to get him to remember as many details from that day as possible and to try to get the most accurate description of Chanley so he could have him fresh in his mind and then they could do a sketch, right? Nelson described the Asian man he saw as being in his late 20s, about 5'7", muscular with a buzzed haircut. He got a composite sketch and police released it to the media. Immediately, another female real estate agent calls police to say she recognizes that guy.
Oh, Jesus.
As someone that she had rented a home to.
Whoa. Okay. So that means she's got details.
Right. And at one time, this guy showed up at her own house, her personal living space.
No.
And said that his car broke down and he demanded to use her phone.
Yeah, that's weird. No.
Right?
No.
And when she wouldn't let him in, right? How do you know where I live? What the bleepy bleep, right? I know. When she wouldn't let him in, he got irate, went to the backyard and started banging on her back door.
That's freaky.
Right. So she called police.
Good.
He was arrested.
Ooh, so they have something.
Right. So they looked that up. The man was, and again, this is another one. I'm glad I saw this on TV, so I had a pronunciation because holy crap.
No.
This last name is about 15 letters long.
Oh, she is.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
So the man was 25-year-old Kosoul Chanthakoummane.
Okay.
Yeah, Chanthakoummane. Because it was like, Chanta, come on.
Come
That's
on.
how
So he's like thinking, okay, I'm going to make this easy for everybody in America. We're going to go with Lee.
Right, exactly, right? He was born in the US, but his parents were natives of Laos, which for the rest of you who are like me and we're like, I don't know where that is. It is a country in Asia sits right in between Thailand and Vietnam. So investigators look into Kosoul and find that he drives a white Mustang.
Oh, weird.
And worked as a delivery truck driver and had a long history of violent offenses.
Shit. Well, he must make good money doing deliveries since he's got a Mustang. But
I guess so. I don't know. I mean, it could be like used.
True,
I don't know.
that's true.
Well, I don't know. Anyway. Okay. So get this. He grew up in North Carolina. At 15, he attacked a classmate and was sent to juvie for several months. I mean, so that was like, this isn't just your detention or suspended. This was a pretty serious thing. Oh, shortly after he got out of juvie, he stole a car.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he's on a roll.
Yeah,
and then he was convicted of an armed robbery that he committed at the age of 16.
Oh, come on. Wow, he's going fast.
Unless this is two different offenses, I'm pretty sure it was the same offense. During the same armed robbery, he also kidnapped 2 elderly women.
Dude.
He probably was holding them at gunpoint.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, good Lord. At 16,
man. Right?
Oh, no, dude, you're doing it wrong.
Right. So when he got out on parole, he was allowed to move to Texas to live with his sister, as she had agreed to help him clean up his act. Right.
Oh, this poor sister.
Obviously, his parents hadn't done a very good job, but his sister's like, I can manage this.
Yeah, okay. No.
When he was paroled and moved to Texas was only 6 months before the murder.
Shit.
Right?
God, he's having
this guy was just on a path of destruction.
This
right?
Is just sad. Okay.
I know. When detectives interviewed Kosoul, he denied knowing anything about Sarah's murder. I don't have any involvement. I don't know what you're talking about. Blah, blah, blah. It was noticed that his left hand had several freshly healed scars on his fingers, like someone who may have cut their hand.
How'd you cut your hand, honey? Yeah, what'd you do? Meat grinder?
Right? Meat grinder? Then they looked at pictures of his cell phone, which, by the way, it was 96. And I have a photo that I can post of it. It was a flip phone.
Oh, yeah.
Not high quality photos, right? Yep. Okay. So they look through some pictures on his cell phone and they find a picture. I have this picture, by the way, of Kosoul pretending he was going to take a big bite out of his dog, this little white fluffy thing.
Oh my God.
I hope it was pretend, but he had like this sadistic, like, look. And then he's like got the dog's ear half in his mouth. And I was just like, oh.
But they can tell what his teeth look like from this picture, I'm guessing.
I don't know. It was, I mean, it was a flip
too
phone
blurry,
picture.
shitty.
Yeah, it's probably a piece of crap. But still, they were like, interesting, biting. Biting's a thing for you.
He likes biting. Also,
right?
Ross.
Police took dental impressions of Kosoul's teeth, and they were a match to the bite mark on Sarah's neck.
Oh my God.
And then it turned out his DNA was a match to the profile of the killer.
God.
They found their guy.
What was his motivation? Like, what the was he
apparently just sick and twisted. Well, I'll get to that because I have the trial.
Oh,
so
God.
It's just a guesstimation, but still. So prosecutors suspected that Kosoul preyed on female realtors because they often work alone.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
They believed that his original target was Nelson's wife, but he spooked when she showed up with her husband.
She had some really good intuition with that.
Right?
Oh my
God. So maybe if her asshole husband hadn't divorced her, she would have had a husband to show up with her. But no, he was out golfing. Anyway, I digress. He got spooked. He drove away, probably circled the block a couple times and came back to try the model across the street.
Yeah. Oh, that could go along with so many things. I'm going to try, like as seeing a woman as a car, almost going to go check out the model across the street.
Right. There you go. Exactly. Right? So he probably went there, found Sarah Walker inside alone, and that his motive was simply murder. Like he is a sadistic.
Like he'd probably been fantasizing about it.
Gross. Gross. Gross.
At least he got caught. And we assume this is his first murder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I hope so. He didn't have a lot of time. I mean, it only been 6 months.
Seriously.
But, I know. The evidence against him was so strong that his defense attorney, his only hope was to downplay the murder as a burglary gone wrong. Because he had a history of burglary, auto theft, armed robbery, right?
But he hadn't really hurt people.
Right. But with 33 stab wounds and a bite wound, it was kind of hard to be like...
like, oops, my tooth fell on her. Oops.
My whole mouth.
My whole mouth.
I was yelling and her neck went into my mouth during the struggle. I don't think...
Yeah.
I could see her biting him to try to get away. It doesn't really work the other way. In October of 2006, he was tried and convicted
That's amazing.
of capital murder.
Okay.
And he was given the death sentence. But of course he appealed. I mean...
Yeah, what else are you going to do?
Right.
A million appeals. Okay.
Right. So that took a while. So because that was in October 2006. In 2019, 13 years after his conviction, Kosoul's lawyer argued for a new trial because his trial lawyer told jurors that he was guilty against his wishes because he said, oh yeah, he was there. It wasn't first degree murder. It was
because he hadn't planned it.
Right. Okay. He hadn't planned it. He went in. He was going to rob her. The murder was an unfortunate accident type situation. And I guess Kosoul did not give him permission to say that. I guess he wanted to plead completely and totally innocent.
Yeah, honey, that's not going to work. So listen to your lawyer.
That's what got you convicted.
Yeah, sure.
And after all these years, he's still maintaining he's completely innocent.
Wow.
But
he's
got some balls. New trial was denied.
Good.
I guess there were a couple of stays of execution.
Whoa.
For who knows why. Finally, in August of 2022.
Whoa, recently.
Very recently.
Sure.
Kosoul was executed by lethal injection 16 years after Sarah's murder.
Wow.
So if my math is correct, and
wow,
you know how I am with math.
Yeah, same.
He committed the murder at 25. He was executed at 41. And so by this point, he had spent about as much of his life in jail as he had out of jail.
He had out of it. Oh my God. That is fucked up.
Right.
I'm surprised he got the death penalty, honestly, for one death, but probably the brutality of it.
The brutality. Well, the other thing is it's Texas.
Yep.
It's Texas, right? So
yeah.
If it had been Illinois, he'd still be he'd be free by now. I don't know.
Yeah. He'd be your neighbor.
Don't even. Oh my God. Don't get me started. Right. Just line them up. How many neighbors can I have that are convicted felons? Okay.
Oh, same.
Let's not play that game.
Yeah.
Okay. None of Sarah's friends or family attended the execution, but he reportedly made a statement to them saying, "I pray my death will bring them peace." Not, "I'm sorry for what I did."
Yeah, that doesn't.
Right.
That doesn't
not
help.
admitting guilt
it's
or
almost
anything.
Sarcastic. Like,
I know.
I hope this helps you.
Right.
Bitches.
So as he was injected, he apparently looked over to his mother, who was in attendance, and mouthed, "Mom, I love you."
Oh, that's sad.
I'm just like,
as a mom, thinking of your kid. Oh,
yeah.
That's rough.
She'd known the path he was on since he was 15.
Yeah.
She probably couldn't have been surprised.
Right.
But disappointed.
Still. Oh, absolutely.
I know. I know.
Embarrassed and
mortified. My God, mortified. Yeah, right. Would you like to hear my sources?
I need to. I need to hear this. Yes.
Okay. USAtoday.com, KFMX.com, TexasTribune.org, and of course, my standby that I've been using all the time lately for all of my anxiety, Forensic Files, Season 13, Episode 2, House Hunters.
Oh my God, House Hunters. Like the TV show, and you're like, oh yeah, this is so fun.
No. Does your TV have one of those things where you can speak into the remote and say, find this? Yeah. Mm-hmm. House Hunters. And this comes up. You're like, this is not what I
don't feel like hunting for houses anymore. I feel like I might get hunted by going to houses.
Oh my God. That would be a rude surprise, right?
Shit.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Hey Oddies, thanks for listening to another episode of ODFM. If you're a longtime listener, hey, we cannot thank you enough for your continued support. And if you're a new listener, thanks for giving us a try. If you like us, please drop us a like, subscribe, or rate us so we can share our stories with more people around the world. And if you'd like more information, like links to our podcast and socials, along with our Patreon fan page, those links are all on Linktree under ODFM Podcast. That's linktr.ee/ODFM Podcast. Side note, you guys, we're obsessed with fan art, and we love making things with it, like stickers for our fans. So if you'd like us to use your designs, send it to us at odfmpodcast@gmail.com. And if we use your design, we'll be sure to send you a sticker.
Thanks for listening to another episode of ODFM, hosted by Kelly DeVries and Jenna Swanson. Production and editing by Kelly DeVries. Theme music by Eric Swanson. ODFM is a satirical true crime podcast for entertainment purposes only. The stories you hear are serious and true. The comments and opinions are not. We apologize if any of our content is harmful or disrespectful.